bum, bum, bum. Holy crap. Take a look at this shit. Lemmy RXVII says, can somebody honestly tell me what is stopping us from filling all this ocean with land and expanding the size of America? Look at this. From Miami all the way up to Maine. This is what he draws. Land, add land. This guy is serious. He is dead serious. Just physically add land to the east coast of the United States. And as usual, here's Brian Krasenstein, or Krasenstein. With a very well-articulated, logical, common sense reaction to this. The stupidity of people just defies description. This is one of those things that should be so incredibly ridiculously stupid to everybody who reads it that nobody should even justify it with a response. But Ed Krasenstein does. This has to be one of the most ill-informed posts I have ever seen. Here are 10 reasons why we can't and shouldn't add land to the U.S. You know, all you gotta say, Brian, is you can't, period. But he actually takes this guy seriously. Number one, 47% of the U.S.'s 1.9 billion acres of land is unoccupied. So why would you add another 500 million acres? Number two, the value of homes and businesses on the East Coast is over 10 trillion. So just fill in all that water and devalue 25% of the nation's land significantly. Number three, it would require 55 trillion cubic yards of material to extend the coast by just 100 miles. Number four, this is in the direct path of basically 70% of the Atlantic hurricanes which miss the United States coast. Number five, the ocean floor at the edge of this new coast, drawn in the image, is in excess of 12,000 feet, which is over 2 miles deep. The cost of filling it would likely be more than the value of the land. Number six, it would probably take over a century to do this. While most of the major seaports would be shut down on the East Coast, leading to a catastrophic economic mess. Number seven, weather patterns around the planet would change. The Gulf Stream would be diverted, and many species would die off. Number eight, the amount of CO2 you would create by moving trillions of metric tons of rock and dirt would likely cause sea levels to rise faster than we could fill the ocean. Number nine, unless the fill is taken from within the oceans themselves, any fill added to the ocean will raise sea levels by some amount. Number 10, drought would spread across the globe as there is less surface area of the ocean to evaporate and create rain. Okay, how about number 11? You're a fucking moron. Hi, Valve. Number 11, you're a fucking moron. You're talking about God level alterations to the surface of the earth. And yeah, this probably was done in MS Paint, but I like the marker he used for this because it looks like crayon, which is probably what he would be using if this were an actual paper map. You want to know what seemed really, really strange, but it kind of worked in a weird way? And this is something we could probably do. What was that Resident Evil game? It was not a numbered game. I thought it should have been. It had the two parts. The T-Abyss virus on the Queen Semiramis and the Queen Zenobia. I can remember the ship names, but not the name of the fucking game. What was it? Resident Evil Revelations, I think it was. Yeah. Really, really weird storyline there in the game. But anyway, just in case you don't know, because this is what I'm talking about, they created a gigantic metropolis, a whole goddamn new city on a disc. It was a floating disc in the middle of the Mediterranean, of all places. And I forgot what the name of the city was. It's been a while since I played it. But it was a gigantic fucking city on a disc. Fully functioning city with buildings and millions of people living there, and parks and trees and vegetation and businesses and schools. And of course, after a little bit of this and a little bit of that, it ends up getting destroyed and partially sinking into the Mediterranean because of this evil, nefarious guy and blasting it with a laser weapon, and because there was an outbreak and all that other crap. And I thought that was a pretty damn good idea. Look at what this asshole is proposing, and then think about how much less money it would probably cost. You want more space? You want to fill in the gaps throughout the Pacific and Atlantic Ocean? You want more options for people? Or maybe you just want some type of place to banish people, which seems like a good idea to me. Why don't you just build a city on a floating disc? You could have these little cities dotting all over the Pacific and the Atlantic Ocean. You probably wouldn't have very many people lost at sea anymore, because you could have all of these cities dotted all over the ocean. That would make more sense than what this idiot is getting you to subscribe to. This is like, it's good this looks like crayon, again, because this is like a 4th grade interpretation of things we can do to help people out in the world. Let's just add land to the fucking continent. And this guy, bless Brian Krasenstein's heart, is actually taking him seriously. The beach in Miami is fake. All the sand in South Beach is imported. Well, it probably won't matter for very long anymore anyway, because it's all going to be underwater soon. See, that's another reason. You know, it's all going to be taken over by rising ocean levels anyway. This reminds me of the little Bush cartoon where they have the idea to accelerate the melting of polar ice caps so that they can make a giant water park. Surely this was a joke, but then again, maybe not. I thought it was a joke when somebody of influence said something ridiculous like, Guam could tip over. I forget the phrasing. No, I would argue that it would cost quadrillions of dollars to do the project shown in the image. Stop encouraging him. Stop pretending that this is a real thing. Just give him a smack and tell him to go back to kindergarten where he belongs. Uh, why is Cat Turd still here? Oh God, enough of the Starfield bullshit. My conservative uncle posted this on Facebook like, look what we've become. This cartoon is ironically based as fuck. Imagine thinking there's something wrong happening here. Like this is an own. Oh shit, she's holding a tire. I honestly thought she was proposing with a dildo. Jesus, man. They're in front of a car missing a tire. Oh, it's happening already. He's a dude and I'm a woman. He sees sex and I see mechanics. I guess the conservative uncle is actually right. Not in the way he wants to be right, but he's still right. See, I'm fair. I take back everything bad I've said about Iowa. You ever see a picture that makes you so proud you get choked up? Ah, shit. Donald Trump booed loudly by the crowd while entering the college football stadium in Iowa. Well, Iowa gives me some hope. Ew! Shit, guys, I have to pack up and leave. I've been called out by this guy. Ugh. Have I followed you yet? Yes, I have. Photo of the day. This is genius. Trump can't draw a crowd himself, so they take him right through the crowd to make it look like they're all glomming on him. Have you ever slept in a waterbed? Yes, I have. I don't like it. You can vax the entire planet, but you can't feed the starving. Suddenly, Republicans are curious as to why socialism doesn't exist. Yeah. Ha! The man wears high heels, makeup, a girdle, refers to his hair as strawberry blonde, and lies about his height and weight. All we have to do is put a book in his hands to read to children in Florida, and he'll be kicked out of the state. Nice. Enough with the Starfield bullshit. People talking about it almost made me want to try playing it, but all this shit that people keep going on about with it, I've changed my mind. Your buddy Nick Fuentes just called for the extermination of black people. What say you, Marge? God, enough with the Starfield. Ooh, truth hurts, bitch. Quit defending rapists. Yeah, what's his name from that '70s show just got like 30 years in prison for 2 sexual assaults. And everybody except for Topher Grace, is that his name? The main guy from the show is defending him. Ashton Kutcher, Mila Kunis, they're all defending him. So, Farrell Fawcett, I love that name. This is Mila Kunis's Twitter page. Tweets are protected, only confirmed followers now have access to Mila Kunis's profile. Damn. Defending rapists? Yerp. Boggles my mind they anticipated any other reaction. Oh, Danny Masterson, yes. Personally, that's it for me. I'll never watch anything these two are in ever again. Wait till you see their performative apology. I was rolling my eyes and trying not to barf. Pretty much the only major cast member not sticking up for him is Topher Grace. They never got along, so it makes sense. When a married man gets arrested for horrible crimes that supposedly happened over years, there's typically an outcry that the wife had to have known. People close to these predators don't always know, and even as info comes out, going from believing that person to not is tough. We don't know what they knew. I hope their careers never recover. They should have known this was the only outcome of their support. That rape apologist show. Damn. I think even Kurtwood Smith came out. Oh boy. Yeah. Two wrongs don't make a right. And that's exactly what you're doing. I'm sure it's trending. Oh, yeah. Where's Melania? And Mehdi Hassan also completely destroyed Vivek Ramaswamy, or Ramalama Ding Dong, in an interview. You will never believe this. I gotta find it because I watched that part of the interview. Where did I put it? Blah, 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 blah. Ew. Oh. I did it today. I gotta find it. I want to watch it again anyway. Here it is. Okay, MSNBC from Mehdi Hassan. Did you not make $750,000? Not at the time I applied for the scholarship. Yes, you did. This is awkward for you because you did. I've got the tax returns in front of my face.
You say you are anti-identity politics, anti-affirmative action in a party that hates the Soros name, yet you accepted a Paul and Daisy Soros scholarship at law school that was specifically set up for the children of immigrants. It was an affirmative action scholarship, and your defense for that is that you didn't have the money to pay for law school, even though you'd already made over $1 million at the time, and made another $2 million.
My defense of that is somebody gives you a merit scholarship at the age of 24, you take it. At the age of 24, somebody gives you a merit scholarship, you take it. I didn't say I didn't have the money. I said at a time when I had a lot less money than now. $50,000 was
exactly
still useful to money to me.
You keep forgetting your quote. You said, when I didn't have the money.
So, Mehdi, I've made this really easy for everybody. And I did this in the early weeks of the campaign. I released 20 years of tax returns.
Yes, you
Something
did.
that no presidential candidate, let alone somebody who's successful in business, has done. I challenge Democrats and Republicans alike.
And yes, they have.
Including the Biden family, to do it. And you know what? I released it so that you could look at them, so we can have an honest conversation.
I appreciate that.
The funny thing I've learned.
I do appreciate that. It's something Trump should learn from you.
I think that transparency is important. So it's already open and everybody can see it.
Exactly. We have 2009.
But the fact of the matter is,
shut the fuck up! You're on an interview. He's got you pegged. Stop being the snake oil salesman. Shut your mouth and try listening to people. You want to be president. That is a good virtue to have as a man of the people.
You know what I would advise? Every 24-year-old should take $50,000.
Yeah. And 2010, you made $750,000. You had the money to pay for law school. You didn't need a Soros affirmative action scholarship that you now criticize.
I mean, none of this is worthy, but if you think it is, let's get to the detail. That was actually the first big piece of money.
Anti-affirmative action. You took a scholarship for immigrants.
I'm anti-affirmative action.
So why'd you take a scholarship for the children of immigrants?
Which falsehood would you like me to address? The financial one or the one?
Falsehood. Okay, in case you don't know, Mehdi Hassan on MSNBC was interviewing Ramalama Ding Dong. And I love how he keeps emphasizing George Soros, because the right wants to believe that the left are full of grifters, just like the right is, and everybody on the left who has money, it's George Soros. Everybody on the left who goes to protest, we're paid by George Soros. And Mehdi is telling Vivek that, guess what? I have proof from your tax returns that you made $750,000 just in 1 year alone, but you took a scholarship, a George Soros funded scholarship specifically for the children of immigrants so that they could go to college. You didn't need that money. Why did you take it? And he's sitting here, he's doing everything. Like I stated, he finally admitted to it. This whole interview, he tried lying, deflecting, insulting, filibustering. Then at long last, he finally cracks and admits it, which is coming up.
About my views on affirmative action, because I can go in whichever order you'd like. On the financial piece of it, not at the time that I had applied for the scholarship that fall.
Yes, you did.
That December.
Yes, you did, Vivek. This is awkward for you because you did. I've got the tax returns in front of me.
Awkward.
For you. Yes, on December 31st, when the application for the scholarship was that October. Mehdi, you're wasting your time on childish details in October of that year when I applied for that scholarship. And it was, well, guess what? The bonuses that a hedge fund pays, and it's a shame that, again, you don't have to be an expert on this, but if you're going to spout out, you better know something about it. People pay at a...
He does! You need to know something about when you're caught.
Hedge fund the bonuses at the end of a year, and on December 31st, that's when I was paid. I applied for the scholarship that September, and I did not grow up in a wealthy family.
Vivek, you made more money the previous.
Wait a minute, wait a minute. So you still applied for the scholarship and took the money. Just months before you were ready to get paid off. Oh my God.
I made $200,000 pre-tax or whatever it was.
No, you didn't.
And
no,
you know
you
what?
didn't.
I believe.
Hold on. No, you didn't. You're now telling flat. In 2009,
You have my tax returns in front of you. I don't remember what I made in 2009.
In 2009, you made $650,000. In 2010, you made less, $450,000. So the argument that you only made the money pre the scholarship, Oh, so now we're bringing tax into it. We've been using gross numbers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Vivek,
How
you're
much?
wrong on this. Go back and check your tax returns.
$50,000 obviously makes a big difference.
And then you accepted a Soros scholarship for $50,000 when you didn't need it.
Well, you know what the fact is, Mehdi, is $50,000 did make a big difference to me back then, and anybody who has a few $100,000 in the bank is going to take $50,000.
Anybody that has, his type of money is going to take that kind of money. Oh my God, you fucking... Everything about him is suspicious. Yep, there we go. Snake oil sold here. I love that picture. And I've been really enjoying making up crappy shops of images just for comedic sake. Normally, I don't like when people do too good of a job with photo manipulation, because I think it's funnier and still gets the point across and still is an obvious fake when it's a little hokey. But this one is good. I like it. I can respect people for doing good photo manip jobs. Liar. I saw them on the news the other night for trying to take credit for getting that orca out of the Miami Seaquarium. Hopefully he's going to flop soon. Well, he still isn't doing as good as Trump or even DeSchmuckus among Republicans. So when did lying become bad in politics? I thought it was actually the springboard to winning Republican primaries. Well, it is. Ooh, the multi-billion-dollar financial fraud. Yes. Yes, I have heard all about how he fucked all these people, not just financially, but medically, with that Alzheimer's drug scam. Aw. Huh. Trump must feel really out of place on the steps of an institution of learning. Yeah, no more Xbox. No more Xbox. Ew. Some goofy Trumpkin nut juggler added me to a group called Commie Bots and Trolls, so I got that going for me. Of course. 'Cause commies don't actually exist. They're just bots and trolls. In fact, what the fuck are they so afraid of? I mean, it doesn't make sense. Okay, so are commies all around you all the time, or are they just bots and trolls? Because if they're bots and trolls, that would mean they're not real. Or they're just pretending to piss you off. So which is it? I guess we're supposed to believe these people aren't getting laid. I'd say so. And yes, I'm aware that DeSantis is married to the Jackie O wannabe. I bet he still doesn't get laid. Elon's Twitter. Nazis never did anything bad to me. Yeah, I was never killed as a Jew in World War II myself, so there you go. If the system is rigged against Trump, why is he running again? To stay out of prison. Oh yeah, check this shit out. Kicked off of one medium, so you go to the country where your shit is actually listened to. Alex Jones is now on state-controlled Russian television. Not only did Alex Jones join in an interview with chief Russian propagandist Vladimir Solovyov, and not only did the interview get taken down after it aired, and not only did Jones compare the U.S. to 9/11 hijackers. You mean 9/11 hijackers who hijacked our planes to attack our country? He also claimed that Americans love Putin. Oh my God, do I dare?
с вами, и мы просто просим прощения, потому что наша страна захвачена. Огромное количество американцев действительно восхищаются Россией, восхищаются вами.
Okay, hold on. Let me translate. They're translating into Russian what Jones is saying. Let me try again. That's why I'm here, telling the Russian people. Let me mute this. Telling the Russian people, we know you're not expansionists. We know you're not attacking us. Polls show the average American doesn't want to go to war with you. We are sorry our country has been hijacked. A lot of Americans admire Russia. They admire you and admire Putin because you have been able to fight this off. And these people are psychotic. We're in a full system and we're barely hanging on. This motherfucker needs to be dealt with. This is a country where still to this day, pretty much all of their media is state controlled. You say the wrong thing, you get thrown out of the fucking window. And now you've got this loser reject going onto their media to tell them, oh no, everyone in America is just like me. We love Russia. We love Putin. You do go ahead and do whatever the fuck you want to Ukraine and any other country around you. You just take it over, invade it, kill all the undesirables. That's what we want. And that's why people like Alex Jones are doing this. Not only are they complete losers in their own country, they admire Russia, not because America admires Russia, because he does. And the people like him do. They want that Russian shit to happen over here. They want a censoring of media. They want to kill off undesirables. They want this godlike image of a leader. They don't want a democratically elected leader. They want a fucking dictator. They want a despot. They want their way to be the only way. And what's really fucking pathetic, it's the leopards eating your face all over again. People like that, that's why you don't get involved with people like this. That's why you don't get involved with hate groups and people trying to compensate for a tiny dick and failing in life. Eventually, they will all turn against each other. It's going to be good for nobody. People want to talk about Elon Musk. How about we take care of this shit? That's all it's about. No, the majority of America does not like what Russia's doing. The majority of America does not think Russia has the right to invade Ukraine. The majority of people in this country actually care about freedom and democracy and would never put up with Putin's bullshit. That's why we're America. And he's over there lathering their ass, and it's wrong. It's a lie. It's one fucking pathetic little grifter talking to other pathetic fucking grifters. People only concerned with control. Ugh. And he's getting paid to appear on Russian TV. I wouldn't doubt it. Grifters. His own power, his own attention, and money. He's got to make it up somehow. What did he have to pay those victims of Sandy Hook? What was it? Almost $1 billion fucking dollars? You know, why try to hide it? This guy has caused more harm to the people of Florida in his time in office than you're doing by giving him the finger. Don't try to hide it. Stick it right in his damn face. Make sure he sees it. The fuck is he gonna do about it? The latest emergency order by the governor of New Mexico suspending the right to carry firearms in public across Albuquerque and the surrounding county is unconstitutional. I'm all for stronger gun safety laws, but this is not the way to do it. Nah. She has the power to declare a state of emergency. what's the word called? Yeah. Nah, she has the power to declare a state of emergency and institute the appropriate mandates. In this instance, suspending the right to carry firearms in public actually helps people and keeps them safe. Not like when governors make decrees that are actually unconstitutional, like, limiting travel and banning books. I say good for her. And hey, again, nobody's saying you can't have guns. The state of emergency has called for her to institute a mandate that says you can't carry them around outside in public. Kind of like how you don't want gay people to be seen in public. You don't want people in rainbow pins to be seen in public. You see, there's a disconnect there. And there's a disconnect in these people's minds. And I'm going to say it again. I'm going to keep saying it. These people are like the special person in a group of people trying to get shit done and have a good time. These people are like the annoying little brother who insists on hanging around with you and the rest of the big kids, desperately trying to fit in. I'm not saying do anything bad to them. What I'm saying is a smart, normal, sane person has to understand they're not at the level. Rules are a little bit different for them. You have to stand up and be the adult. And be the adult means you have to take back your authority and your power. Nobody is ever going to be safe if monkeys are running the country. Nobody is ever going to be safe if you're handing monkeys automatic weapons and having them teach your classrooms and putting them in public office and giving them important jobs and putting them in charge of other people's lives and education and health care. Stop it! It's time to quit this bullshit. Good for her. There's a good governor. That's what you do when you care about your people. And you want to know something else? I bet a lot of these people, I bet half of them never bothered to think of it. And half of them have. and don't like what the result is going to be. I'll guarantee you, this one measure alone, just banning the open or concealed carry of firearms outside of your property, I bet that whole thing alone is going to instantly cut down on incidents. I hope she's not just decreeing this, instituting this mandate during a state of emergency, and she's got somebody that's actually keeping track of this shit. You know, to set a precedent so that very soon all of New Mexico will never have to go back. Actually, this whole nation already has proof. Ever since the assault weapons ban was lifted, everything had gone to hell. And in this country, of all countries, what do you think is going to happen? What do you expect is going to go on in this goddamn country? Exactly what has happened. Men are so fucking stupid, it's embarrassing. We're the same species. Yeah, I feel that way a lot of the time. Ew, on toast? Gross. Woman steals meats from a grocery store. When I see these videos, I think of all the planning these companies put into place to acquire the meat, package, and ship it. The financial projections to ensure the company remains profitable. The mind-numbing work their employees did to execute the plan. Stock boys, blah, 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 blah. All of that work just so the product can be stolen by a fat black woman who's going to get away with it because America worships black people. Yeah. You mean the companies that pay their employees like shit? Hyperinflate their prices? And by the way, are insured up the ass. For millions of dollars worth of shrink every year. People are fucking starving. People can't afford their bills. And nice job bringing up her race. You're totally not a piece of shit at all. Fuck Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis for sending that rapist letters of support, and anyone else who still likes Danny Masterson. He and his supporters are disgusting pigs. Well, I'm sorry, but you want to know something? And you know they're going to say this, you know they're thinking it. They already had their heyday in Hollywood. They've already starred in movies. They've already, whoa. God. So they've already starred in movies. They've already made all of their money. They're married. They have kids now. They're living off of the funds. They're having a good life. And it all started for most of them with that damn show. So what the hell do they care? Ugh. Vivek Ramaswamy telling us he was poor because he only made $500,000 a year proves once again how out of touch Republicans are. How can a person with that mindset run a country where 99% of us are truly struggling? I wonder the same thing every time a candidate for president raises their hand when asked if they do not believe in evolution, or they talk about how they talk to Jesus, like W. Bush, who told everybody Jesus told him to invade Iraq. That's the feeling I get when people like them have access to the nuclear launch codes. These Christo-fascists and these conservatives, overwhelmingly religious from the Christian standpoint, very much so, and I know you're very familiar with this concept of Christo-fascism in America, but I'm telling you, these are people who believe that climate change is just bullshit. These are people who think that Israel should always have our full support. And they should get rid of the Palestinians. They should get rid of the Muslims because Israel is for Jews. And there isn't a big-ass asteroid in space that we're lucky is just going to miss us. Yeah, there's no such thing as polar ice caps melting and rising sea levels, and storms aren't going to take care of anything. In fact, if storms are going to do anything, that's, God. That's God punishing certain people. They believe all of this horse shit because their religion tells them the world is not going to end until Jesus touches down to earth. The Bible tells them that Jesus will be touching down in Israel. And he's going to touch down in that Holy Land surrounded by Jewish people. That's why they support Israel. That's why they don't care about the lives and the safety of Palestinians and Muslims or people of any other religion in the region. They believe that this is how it's supposed to go because this is how their interpretations of the Bible explain to them it's going to go. Everybody is going to live perfectly fine and happy with, absolutely no danger. No danger is going to be caused by anything. because that's not what their Bible says. That's not what their American Christo-fascist churches tell them the correct interpretation of the Bible is. Jesus is supposed to show up. He's supposed to touch down in Israel, where the Jews live, and then the rapture is going to happen. And all the good people, which of course includes themselves, are going to disappear and float up to heaven. And Jesus is going to float up with them. And everybody left behind on earth is going to feel sorry, because then Armageddon is going to happen. And it's going to be hell on earth for the next 7 years or whatever. This is what these people actually believe. And mind you, there is no such thing as the rapture. It only came into play in the past 150 years or so. There's a lot of shit that was added by people over the centuries. A lot of this shit quite recently, actually, where we know who wrote it and we know who added it. That kind of recent, that was not in the original Bible, was not in older versions of the Bible. There's a whole lot of shit these people believe that if you read an old version of the Bible or you subscribe to an old version of Christianity, it doesn't exist. That whole rapture bullshit and being left behind and all that shit, that is a purely American, mostly Southern American construct. Something that just came to be a part of their belief system not so many generations ago. They think it's real. They think a storybook is real. Every idiot's lame-ass interpretation that they come up with off the top of their head is real. These are the people who want to run your country. Do you want somebody like that with their hands on the nuclear buttons? Do you want somebody like that making decisions about your health care, making decisions about your environment, making decisions about whether other people live or die, when they all believe nothing is going to end unless it ends like it does in the Bible? And by the way, it's always the same result when they ask Christians this. They'll say, how many of you, I must have seen this like live poll question thing like half a dozen times in my life in various forms of media. How many of you think Jesus is coming back in your lifetime? That the rapture and Armageddon and all this crap and the end of the world is going to happen in your lifetime. And most of them, without fail, raise their hands. That's how entitled and selfish these people are. They not only believe it, not just believe it. I've had people close to me tell me, I know. No, they don't know. And these people want to make decisions for you. That's how batshit insane they are. That's how selfish and entitled they are. They all think it's going to happen for their eyes. And they all believe, of course, they're going to be one of those people who floats up to heaven in the rapture. They believe they're going to be one of those people who God favors. By the way, if you've read the Bible, when they talk about the end of days, when they talk about the end of the world, do you know how many people the Bible, a long time ago Bible, says are actually going to end up surviving or being worthy enough to go up to heaven while the world gets destroyed? What's your guess? And now remember, a whole nation filled with all these Christians that believe the rapture is going to happen. And that's when all the people, the good people, including them, of course, are going to go up and be with their buddy. While all the sinners, all of the rest of us, like, crash and burn down here. How many of these batshit Southern, especially Christians, are there in this country? They all think they're going to live to see Jesus. They all think they're going to be one of the special chosen. So what did the Bible say about the end of the world, about Armageddon? Are a million people going to be saved and chosen? Maybe 5 million? There's, what, 8 point something billion people on this planet. So what, half of them? 40% of them? 1,300. Last time I saw it, I'm not sure if it had like an exact, like, uneven number, but to just round it off, 1,300. 1,300. That's it. That's the amount of people that the Bible actually states is supposed to be the special chosen folks. And no rapture. Like I said, that was created out of thin air in the mid-1800s. Talk to a Catholic, like a Vatican, Rome, Italian Catholic. Say, what the fuck is wrong with you people? You actually think that's how it's going to work? How many of you Christian idiots live over there in the United States? You think all of you believe that you're going to be chosen? The Pope thinks America is batshit insane. My mother wouldn't even believe it. When I watched Bill Maher's Religulous, and I tried to tell her he was at the Vatican, had this great interview with a Vatican priest who told him that fire and brimstone shit, that's the old church. She refused to believe me. Then they talked about how Jesus in Italy is the 6th in line that they pray to, which makes sense. Catholics, they pray to saints. The Catholic Church saints individuals that do wonderful things for humanity. And there is a saint for everything. My own mother even wore a St. Jude medallion. And when I told her this, she refused to listen to it. And this is what right-wing bullshit does to people's brains. She immediately turned to my dad and went, "She just said that on this movie, Jesus is the number 6 most important." That's not what I said. I just told you. I just fucking told you a minute ago. Why did you lie? Like I said, special people that are out of their element. That's how a lot of these people are. You can't put them in important positions. They can't be given power and authority. They don't even know how to handle themselves. And you want them to handle your nation. You want them to handle international relations. You want their finger on the nuclear launch button. You want them deciding what you do in your life. Give me a fucking break. Give me a fucking break. These people need to be shown their place. And again, like with the annoying little brother, or with the special kid that really shouldn't be hanging out with the rest of you big kids doing like calculus and shit. It's nothing to make fun of them over. It's nothing to mistreat anybody over. That's the difference between us and the other side. Nobody's saying mistreat any of these people. And that's the reason why you don't mistreat them for being different. You are the mature one. You are the smarter one. You just have to remember, that's all it really takes. These people are never going to be on the level. They can live their lives. You don't have to do anything bad to them. All it takes is remembering there are still certain things they can't do. And make sure they never get to do those things. You don't put them in positions of power or authority. You just don't do it. The other side, they're so fucking up their own ass dumb. They not only want their way, they don't care who it hurts. They don't care who they have to steamroll in order to get what they want. They're like special people. They're like the immature little brother. You can't let it happen. These people cannot be allowed to be in charge of anything. They'll demand their way and hurt other people just because they can. Just as a show of their power and authority. You can't let people like that in charge of anything. These people just aren't with it. And it's not right. So anyway, oh, look at this. I see a lot of users in chat, but nobody's following or chatting. So just sit around and stare, why don't ya? Huh? Well, maybe you prefer the World War Z content better. Which reminds me, I did a video last night and I don't think I uploaded it yet. But I'll be playing some more tonight. Okay, just wanted to check in with everybody.